August 14th, 2005, Larnaca International Airport, Cyprus. The Mediterranean sun is already hot. Tourists roll their suitcases across tiled floors. Children hold stuffed animals. Couples argue gently about window seats. Helios Airways Flight 522 is scheduled for a short hop. Larnaca to Athens, then onward to Prague, just another European summer flight. The aircraft, a Boeing 737-300, registration 5BDBY, reliable, routine, ordinary, 121 people board, no storms, no warnings, no threats. At 9:07 a.m., the aircraft rotates into the sky. Applause from a few nervous passengers. No one on board knows. This aircraft will become known as the Ghost Plane. The previous evening, maintenance crews investigate a complaint, a door seal issue, possible pressurization leak. Technicians test the cabin pressurization system. To perform the test, they switch the system from auto to manual. In auto mode, the aircraft automatically regulates cabin pressure. In manual mode, the crew must control it themselves. After testing, the switch remains in manual. No one resets it. No bold warning flag, no red tape, no lockout. Just a quiet, overlooked position. This small detail will decide 121 lives. As the aircraft climbs past 10,000 feet, cabin pressure begins rising, but not the way it should. At 12,000 feet cabin altitude, an alarm sounds. In the cockpit, the warning tone rings out. Here's the chilling detail. The cabin altitude warning sounds almost identical to the takeoff. Configuration warning. The pilots believe it's a cooling system issue. They contact ground maintenance. They describe the alarm. Maintenance gives troubleshooting suggestions. But no one says the word pressurization. Meanwhile, the aircraft continues climbing. At 18,000 feet cabin altitude, the human body begins shutting down. Symptoms: mild headache, tunnel vision, slowed thinking, false confidence, confusion. Pilots are trained for this, but recognition requires clarity, and clarity disappears first. At 25,000 feet, useful consciousness time, 3 to 5 minutes. At 34. 0 feet, maybe 30 seconds of effective thinking. But here's the horror: you don't panic. You don't feel like you're dying. You feel calm, maybe even euphoric. The cockpit voice recorder later suggests the crew never fully understood what was happening. They likely became disoriented, then unconscious. Autopilot takes over. The aircraft levels at 34. 0 feet, perfectly stable, perfectly silent. When cabin altitude exceeded limits, oxygen masks deployed. Passengers panic. But the masks only supply oxygen for about 12 minutes. They are not designed to last longer. They are meant to buy time while pilots descend, but no descent happens. Inside the cabin, conversations slow, movements weaken. Parents may try to secure children's masks. Some passengers may have passed out first. Gradually, row by row, silence. The aircraft becomes a flying tomb. Greek air traffic control expects contact. Nothing. They call repeatedly. No answer. The aircraft passes Athens, still flying, still stable, but silent. Greek authorities scramble F-16 fighter jets. The pilots intercept, and what they witness is chilling. Inside the cockpit, the captain is slumped over. First officer motionless. Cabin, masks hanging, passengers still. It looks like a movie scene, but it's real. Then one fighter pilot sees something. A person enters the cockpit. He sits in the captain's seat. It is believed to be flight attendant Andreas Prodromou. He had portable oxygen equipment. He may have regained partial awareness. He tries to take control. He waves at the fighter jet. But here's the reality. Flying a 737 is not like flying a small plane. There are systems, procedures, training layers, and fuel is almost gone. The left engine flames out, then the right. The aircraft begins descending without thrust. Without proper control, moments later impact, Grammatico, Greece. No survivors. Investigators analyze black boxes, maintenance logs, switch positions. The pressurization mode selector was set to manual. The outflow valve was open. Cabin never pressurized. The alarm was misinterpreted. Hypoxia incapacitated the crew. Autopilot flew until fuel exhaustion. This was not terrorism. Not mechanical explosion, not structural failure. It was human factors, design confusion, procedural breakdown, and one small switch. Lawsuits follow. Helios Airways executives face charges. Maintenance accountability questioned. Families demand answers years later. Some officials are convicted of manslaughter in Greek courts. The airline collapses financially. The tragedy reshapes European aviation training. Helios Flight 522 is remembered as the ghost plane because for nearly 3 hours it flew silently, with 121 unconscious souls on board. Modern aviation changed because of this disaster. Clearer alarm differentiation, stronger hypoxia recognition training, improved crew resource management, but one question lingers. What were the final thoughts of those on board? Did anyone realize? Or did they simply fall asleep above the clouds forever sometimes? The most terrifying disasters don't explode. They don't scream. They don't fight. They just drift and no one wakes up. Thank you for watching Twisted Cases. For more real unsolved mysteries, disturbing cases, and stories that time never forgot. Subscribe and join us on the dark side of true crime. New episodes every week.